Hello viewers, myself Samarth Pandey, and today I am going to describe the minimum possible values of velocities at highest and lowest point of a vertical circle. It means अगर कोई बॉडी एक सर्कुलर लूप कंप्लीट कर रही है तो इसके लोवेस्ट और हाईएस्ट पॉइंट पर वेलोसिटी की वैल्यू कितनी होनी चाहिए जिससे कि ये कंप्लीट कर ले वर्टिकल सर्कल को. सो लेट्स से दिस पॉइंट is having velocity vl and this point is having velocity what vh. Now let's take a point p where the ball is reached. Then what will be the weight of the body? It will be equal to what? mg along the downward direction. Now let's say this angle as theta. So what will be this? This will also be equal to what? Theta. Now tension on string will be along this direction as T, and the component of this mg along the string will be equal to what? Mg cos theta. Now if this body is revolving about this circle, the necessarily centripetal force, that is mv square by r, will be given by sum of these two forces. One is T, one is mg cos theta. So here I am writing T plus mg cos theta. Now the value of T here will be mv square by r minus mg cos theta. So if the body is moving from P to H, its velocity will go on decreasing, and if velocity go on decreasing, simultaneously tension will also goes on decreasing. So I am taking the consideration that the possible value of tension could be either greater than or equal to 0. So let at point H, or we can say at highest point, the tension is equal to what? 0. Also I am taking velocity at highest point as Vh, and the value of theta at highest point will be equal to what? If this ball shifted from P to H, theta will be equal to what? 0. So putting all the values into this equation, we can get T as 0. Again, mvh square divided by r minus mg cos 0. And what is cos 0? It is equal to 1. So from here we can write mvh square divided by r is equal to what? mg cos 0. Cos 0 is 1 itself. So m and m cancelize from here. What will be vh square? It will be equal to what? gr. And the possible velocity at highest point will be equal to what? Square root of gr. Now this is about the highest point. Now to calculate the possible velocity at lowest point, we will use the law of conservation of mechanical energy. So taking sum of energies at the 2 points as A, one is kinetic energy, other is the potential energy. Again equating these to the point H, we can say this as kinetic energy at highest point and potential energy at highest point. This is the lowest point. So what will be the value of kinetic energy? It will be equal to mvl square by 2. And if this lowest point is taken as ground level, potential energy will be equal to what? 0. Now again kinetic energy at highest point will be equal to what? mvh square by 2 plus potential energy at highest point will be given by what? mgh. And height of the highest point from lowest point will be equal to r plus r, that is equal to what? 2r. Now m cancelled from each, and multiplying 2 on both sides, we can get vl square plus 0 as it is. Again vh square plus 2 into 2 will be equal to what? 4gr. Now putting the value of this vh square, it will be gr and plus 4gr. So what will be the possible velocity at the lowest point? To execute the vertical circle, it will be equal to what? Square root of 5gr. So using these two conditions, we can solve the problems which is based on motion of particle in a vertical circular loop. So here I am taking a question to introduce how we can solve this. So let's say a body is released or a ball is released from an inclined plane like this, and on reaching the lowest point it completes a vertical circle of the radius r. So what will be the value of h in terms of r, we have to find. So let's use again the concept of these two. Lowest point is having square root 5 gr and highest point is having what, gr. So let's take these 2 points as point A and this as point B. Use the law of conservation of energy, as this point B will have the velocity what, at the highest point body is having velocity what, square root gr. So using conservation of energy at these 2 points A and B, we can say sum of energies at A point will be equal to sum of energies at what, B point. So what is the kinetic energy at point A? As it is released, kinetic energy will be equal to 0. Now what will be potential energy at this point? It will be given by formula what, mgh, as point A is having height h. Now what about point B? At point B, kinetic energy will be given by what, mvv square by 2, and the potential energy at point B will be equal to r plus r, or we can say mgh, height of this B will be 2r. Now solving further, we can get the values as it is mgh, putting the value of vv square. What will be vv square from here? It will be equal to what, gr, and here it is what, 2mgr. So mg cancelled from each sides, h will be equal to what, r by 2, and again plus 2r. So it will be equal to what, 5 by 2r. Now I am taking another question in this similar fashion, so that we can understand what kind of questions are asked in exams like this. In similar way, we have an inclined plane of height h, and releasing the ball from here, it completes a vertical loop, so that at this point it is having velocity, let's say this as point C, it is having what, velocity square root 7 gr. Now we have to find out velocity at this point, which is what, point B, and also we have to find the value of h. So firstly, for determining velocity at point D, we'll use again law of conservation of energy between these 2 points C and D. So sum of kinetic energy and potential energy at point C will be equal to sum of kinetic energy and potential energy at point D. What is kinetic energy at C? It will be equal to mvc square by 2. What will be potential energy at C? As if it is R, so it will be R, and potential energy at C will be what, mgr. Now kinetic energy at D will be given by mvd square by 2, and the potential energy at point D will be equal to what, mg into 2r. Putting value of this vc square, it is what, 7gr. Putting it over here, we can get m by 2, and vc is what, 7gr plus mgr will be equal to mvd square by 2 plus 2mgr. Now multiplying it by 2 on both sides, we can get the final answer. So what it could be, multiplying 2 on both sides, it will be equal to 7 mgr plus 2 mgr will be equal to m Vd square by 2, 2 is cancelled, and remaining will be what? 4mgr. So m cancelled from all. What will be this 7gr plus 2gr? It will be equal to 9gr. And here it is Vd square plus what? 4gr. So 9 minus 4 will be equal to what? 5gr. And the velocity at the highest point D will be equal to what? 5gr.